Hi, Jennifer Main here. I've been talking to a lot of students and clients lately about the difference between having meaningful peak experiences and getting high. There's a very big difference between the two. So in terms of kind of peak experiences and peak states, this is where we're doing something or engaged in something that opens us up energetically, opens our mind, opens our spirit, where we are often feeling more connected with others. We're feeling in sync or in a rhythm with something bigger than us. So as an example, I know for myself, I can really quickly, really easily move into a peak state when I am at a live concert or watching live theater. And that's because there's a group of people there amplifying the experience. We're all connected and interested and engaged in what's happening. Music has this rhythm, has this movement. It moves us in other ways. With live theater, there's a story that we're connected with, that we're all a part of. So that's just, one example of what can easily move us into peak states. Everybody's got their own thing. For some people, it's sports. For some people, it's their art, it's their creation, loads of ways to do it. But there's a big difference in seeking a peak state and creating an experience that's going to move you into that versus getting high. And a lot of people unconsciously or maybe consciously are really on a deep, deep level wanting a peak, but they're going for the cheap highs. And usually these are the quicker fixes. So it can be little things like the dopamine hits that we get from, eating food that may not be very healthy for us, or, scrolling on screens, or, whatever those quick fixes are that may provide a little bit of relief, that may make us feel a little bit better, but are not lasting at all. We also know that we can have these highs from food, coffee, tobacco, other substances that we take in to alter our states. There's loads and loads of ways that we alter our states artificially. And not all of them are bad. Not all of them are out of place. But it's really looking at what your consciousness is and what the intention is with those. Because again, if the idea is that I'm feeling bad, I'm struggling with my life, I'm suffering, but I don't know what to do, so I'm going to do this thing to just give me this quick fix and get me out of it, but actually I know I'm going to feel better afterwards because there's then going to be a crash. And that's what happens with those cheap highs, the ones that aren't really meaningful, that don't connect you with something bigger than yourself, with something that's more than you, something that really taps into the heart and soul of who you are. So what might be worth looking at is, in your life right now, what are the things that you have to look forward to that are going to contribute to peak experiences? What are the things that you have scheduled in your life that really speak to your heart and soul? Is it ecstatic dance for you? Is it going to that on a monthly occasion? Is it, traveling? Do you have a weekend trip planned to go to somewhere new and interesting and exciting? Do you have something planned with a group of friends that you really resonate with, that you understand, and that you really get each other and you really amplify the best in each other? So it's really worth taking the time to look at, am I just in a rut where I'm doing the same thing day in and day out? And so I'm seeking these little highs to try to make me feel better, but they're not actually contributing to my quality of life. And what can I start to put into my life? What can I start to schedule in on a regular basis that is actually going to help the quality of my life improve, to help me feel in a higher state, in a peak state, and that's actually going to make me enjoy my life more. Really allow yourself to put those things in place. Let the excuses go. What are the doubts, the fears, the worries, the concerns? I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. Those are all real things, but they're also things that we can address and change. And the reality is that when we start to really allow ourselves to engage in the things that bring us into these peak states, that's actually really healing. And it can change our perspectives. It can change the energy of our lives. It can open us up to new ways of living. So they're really powerful if we are using them in the very best ways. So if you have anything you want to add to that, please feel free to comment. You can get in touch with me at withjennifer.com.